All right, it's 6 a.m. in the morning, baby, and I'm still awake. Broberg and Holloway are going to be St. Louis Blues. The Oilers do not match. The one thing that Friedman believes is key here, Edmonton wants flexibility to add in season, and these big contracts, Broberg 4.5, Dylan Holloway 2 point whatever, not going to help him do that. Now, I'm going to switch the video to a clip that I recorded half an hour ago before this entire thing went down, just kind of going over some thoughts, because I already took the time to talk about this half an hour ago. I'm just gonna, you know what, we're just gonna upload the video now. It's 6 a.m. at the time of me recording this audio, which means I need to go to sleep. So before I do pass out for an inevitable 7 to 8 hours and don't wake up until 2 p.m. in the afternoon, I'm gonna go out there and make this video because Elliotte Friedman is an insider that I trust. I want to go out there and believe in this guy, that his information, his scoop, his tweet is going to happen here. Because today is Tuesday, August 20th, 2024, which means that it is the date that the Edmonton Oilers have to make their choice with the Philip Broberg and Dylan Holloway offer sheets. At the time of this tweet's publication, which was about, 45 minutes ago, there were still 75 minutes until the deadline for matching Philip Broberg and Dylan Holloway's offer sheets. But, judging from the last week's moves, adding a young defenseman and a young forward, it appears the Oilers will not match and allow both players to join St. Louis. We're expecting formal announcements from the teams themselves sometime this morning. Now, this means that the entire actual verdict will be given to us at 6:30 a.m. in the morning my time, and I don't know about you, man, but I'm kind of sleepy, so I gotta go out there and make this video as quickly as I can. If it does get confirmed that both Holloway and Broberg do not end up getting matched and they end up going to St. Louis, then I'll upload this video as it is, we'll just make it public, and everything will be fine. There also was the tweet made here by Sportsnet. The Oilers are not expected to match the Blues offer sheets to Philip Broberg and Dylan Holloway, per Elliotte Friedman. And, you know, there's a lot of people going out there and talking about this. A lot of people replying to this. I mean, this was from half an hour ago, 28,000 views. Elliotte Friedman's tweet is at 190,000 views. This was from 5:13 a.m., so everybody's getting up early and reading Twitter about the Philip Broberg, Dylan Holloway news. But when it comes to these two guys getting claimed and not matched by the Edmonton Oilers, claimed by the Blues, excuse me, signed by the Blues and not matched by the Oilers, this makes more sense than none when thinking about what the Oilers did to respond to this idea. I mean, Friedman kind of lays it out on the line here. Because the Oilers got themselves a young D-man in Ty Emberson, they got themselves a young forward in Vasily Podkolzin, it seems like they already have their replacements in line for when Broberg and Holloway leave the organization. And, you know, I say leave the organization in about half an hour or so. Broberg is probably the guy that I think hurts the most here, but at the end of the day, you know, as we had talked about in the videos heading into today's decision, the St. Louis Blues were really, really smart with the Broberg offer sheet. $4.5 million a year for a guy that really has not proven himself as much as he could have at the NHL level. He was great in the Stanley Cup Playoffs. He had scored 2 points in the Stanley Cup Finals. He needed to be played more because he was just that gosh darn good. But Philip Broberg only has 81 total games of NHL experience. If you wanted to say that he plays at a $4.5 million level some nights, that's totally fair. But saying that he is that good some nights is different than saying he deserves to be paid that now. This is a player who is still so unproven and relatively young in the NHL that the Oilers could not really stomach giving that amount of money to him. We had seen all the offers gone out there. We had seen the discussions about what the Oilers and Broberg were negotiating before Stan Bowman stepped in when it was still Ken Holland trying to do business here. The Broberg camp got a huge, huge offer and a huge raise with the St. Louis Blues. When he signed it, that money was locked in. The question was whether or not it'd be Edmonton or St. Louis paying him that. And the Oilers, with their position in the NHL, with their progression being a competitive team trying to maximize every dollar they have, they just could not commit to that deal. St. Louis, on the other hand, not really too competitive at the moment. They can afford to pay a 23-year-old guy who has a lot of potential, $4.5 million, and realistically try to capitalize on what was some stellar AHL production out of Broberg the past few years. He had 38 points in 49 games played this most recent season, 4 points in 7 games the year before that, mostly being an NHL guy. You could say that the Bakersfield stint he had this season really did help him out and allow his game to flourish in ways that we didn't expect. Meanwhile, for Dylan Holloway, this is a guy who also got a significant raise. As we had said in the video beforehand, I mean, it seemed like he got double the amount of money with St. Louis than he was offered with the Oilers, and that's absolutely huge. Sure, Dylan Holloway is projecting to being a good NHL player down the line. It was why he was a first-round pick in 2020. It was why everybody was so hyped up when he was with the Badgers doing all this great stuff in the NCAA. But as his Oilers career continued, he never really found smoke. He had some good success in the playoff run, especially towards the end there. I mean, that 3-point game really put him on the map. But still, just like Broberg, unproven. And you could say that his talent level, while Dylan Holloway has shown some really good things here and there, I don't think many people would go out there and say that he is a guy who absolutely deserves like a $2.5 million AAV right now. The fact that the Oilers were offering him half of what he got with St. Louis makes sense. It's just the Blues willing to overpay, willing to get the guy onto their team, willing to do it by any means possible to screw over Edmonton and their cap. That is exactly what they intended to do. And based off of these Elliotte Friedman updates, it seems like they had succeeded in that respect, because we are not getting any positive updates as to the Oilers potentially matching. There are some replies going out there and saying, like, okay, well, why would they not do that? I'm very upset. For years, these two young players have been viewed as the future. They're both finally breaking through in the playoffs. They look amazing, and now they're gone. Huge failure by the Edmonton management. We need the youth. We're the oldest NHL team. Sad day. And that's kind of, overreacting a little bit. I get it, it's an emotional time, especially if you have sentimental feelings towards these players. I mean, they were first-round picks after all. 2019, Philip Broberg. 2020, Dylan Holloway. I don't want to play the coulda, shoulda, woulda game, but the Oilers in that 2020 NHL Entry Draft took Dylan Holloway over, who's a really good name here? Cayden Gooley. There you go, that's a really good player. R.I.P. to Rodion Amirov, by the way. Man, just seeing his name on my screen, that gets me really emotional. But, yeah, Cayden Gooley is there, Lucas Reichel. Okay, no, you could say that maybe Holloway and Reichel are in similar development paths. Ah, Dawson Mercer, there you go, that's a really good name. Philip Broberg, on the other hand, was taken before a lot of really good players in the 2019 draft. You've got Matt Boldy, you've got Cole Caulfield, you've got Alex Newhook, you've got a bunch of dudes here. Tomasino, Connor McMichael, even teammate Vasily Podkolzin. Trevor Zegras, how could we forget about him? The Edmonton Oilers had all of their chips pushed into these guys, Holloway and Broberg, and now they are gone for what is a second-round pick and a third-round pick. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Talking about the development of these guys and capitalizing on your assets, man, it seems like the Edmonton Oilers just did not do that. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm assuming that Elliotte Friedman's report is going to be confirmed here. Once we have actual confirmation as to the verdict, then we'll make this video public on YouTube with the title and the thumbnail and everything. But for now, it seems like the Oilers are going to let Broberg and Holloway head over to the St. Louis Blues. We're not going to have any sort of a match. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, but I hope you enjoyed this video. 99. And there are seagulls outside. I don't know if you could hear that. They're really loud. And bye.